Hello, my beautiful beings. How are y'all doing today? Well, I hope. So, I am going to get into this Uranus and Taurus energy. I was pre-shuffling the deck and those came out, and so I decided to look it up. And it turns out that Uranus has been in Taurus since May of 2018, and it's coming out of Taurus in April of 2026, April 27th. So, um, so for the last 7 years, there has been a shakeup around like banking systems, land ownership, um, social security nets, and so just think about everything that's kind of like been happening with Trump. Um, Again, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. Just think about all the stuff that's just been happening with Trump, and him getting into office, and like all of the things with like the banking system, the stuff that you've been seeing in the news as far as them closing up banking systems, or even the fact that there's a change in the banking systems. The terminology is not coming to me right now, but they're changing it from Web 2 to like Web 3. So basically, going from like with them trying to do like digital currency and everything like that. The banking system, um, all of this stuff. So that has definitely been a theme for the last 7 years, to be honest. It's going to ingress in Gemini July 7th and retrograde back to Taurus on November 7th of 2025, and then it's going to finish out until April. Um, so basically, this last 7 years, Uranus in Taurus has been a call to redefine what stability truly means in an impermanent and fast changing world. And so I really just wanted to emphasize like with all of the things that's been happening with Trump when they was talking about Project 2025, getting rid of Social Security, getting rid of, like housing and benefits from the government, getting rid of the school system. It really just calls to like what is true stability within yourself in a world that is forever changing. How do you create structure? And this also gave me like Hierophant energy. Um, it's really like it's been a call to ask, what type of structure would you set around your your rituals, right? Your habits, the things that you do every day. Just bringing like magic into the situation, like things that you would do every day outside of what's going on in the world, outside of what's going on with the government, outside of basically what you have no control over. How would you structure yourself with the things that you value? What would your values be? Things like that. It also said that it teaches us that true security is tied to trusting ourselves, our resilience, and our ability to adapt to whatever happens. Um, Uranus is known as the Great Awakener, and I honestly, well, what's crazy, y'all, is I've been saying that I feel like Trump being in office was just a call for us to really look at what our values really are as a human race. You know what I'm saying? Like as a people, like do we really value one another? Do we really value the energy that it takes, because things have been so accessible to us, things have been so easy to us, when it comes to the government, right? When it comes to the government, um, and the things that they give us, I feel like we have become very codependent on the government to the point that food stamps, um, medical. And I feel like these are things, if we go back to our roots, if we go back to our ancestry, eating from the land, our medicine is our food. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, what are our true values? What what how has this time shown us the things that we have within us that are the inner strength to have the resilience to overcome some of the things that have, or the injustices that have come against us based off religion, based off traditional things that we do. Like, how has this called us to wake up? You know what I'm saying? Like, how has this called us to have a sense of stability surrounding ourselves, and how do we adapt and deal with those type of changes? And just think of, if this world was in a space where there, Trump get what he want, God forbid. You know what I'm saying? I really don't feel like it's going to get that far. But again, I feel like things going the way that they are going right now are set in motion for a reason. And it's really a call for us to see ourselves and what our true values are as a people. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a people, I feel like we're genuinely just going to have to start doing more for one another when it comes to sustaining ourselves. And I feel like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, at some point they were trying to build a way everybody spoke one language so that they could be one with God. Um, and so, yeah, I feel like when we are all one with ourselves, when we all just trust ourselves and trust one another, you get what I'm saying? That we're leaning into making the right decision, or the morally respectable decision when it comes to us seeing each other as each other. You get what I'm saying? Seeing each other as one another. Um so it says it's been retrograde since 2020 September 2024. Has been an opportunity to question, reassess, and reflect on our relationship to both stability and change. And then also it says, what truly provides us security? Relationship with self, the ability to recover, and ability to trust your intuition. And again, I feel like the last little note was mine. But again, I just feel like it's allowing us to connect with the essence of who we are. God is allowing us to connect with nature, connect with the natural flow of things, connecting to ourselves again, if that makes sense. Uranus 2018. That's kind of like right before COVID hit. You know what I'm saying? So think about COVID, how COVID like really set things still for us for a minute. We have find your motivation. Again, what are your values? Master the dance and create sacred space. So I feel like with this master the dance and create sacred space, again, it's like in the midst of all of the changes that go on in the world, how do you create a space of stability within yourself to adapt to all the changes that are happening when they're happening so quick? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you? I feel like that's really what it's getting down to. Just you being able to adapt to the things just in this space of what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I feel like there has been a ball that has been set in motion, when it comes to what people may get away with, when it comes to presidency, when it comes to certain things being allowed. Just think of all of the gates that have been open with Trump just getting away with certain things, right? So I feel like moving forward from this space that we're in, how do you create a space within yourself, or how do you create a flow, a rhythm within yourself a rhythm of stability, a frequency of stability, a frequency of centeredness that allows you to move forward and progress forward amidst all the changes that are happening, that are, the ripple effect of everything. Like, how do you stay in rhythm and in flow with yourself, with the ripple effect of everything that has been set in motion? And it's crazy. It says celebrate growth and breakthroughs. And I know, I don't know why, but okay, y'all. So I have been having this thing where I've been saying, like, don't shoot the messenger, right? I am not a Trump supporter or anything like that, but I feel like everybody comes with their own message if you are open enough to receive it. They say maturity in Christ, right? And so I feel like sometimes when you are a baby in Christ, sometimes you can only choose so much of what's given to you. But I feel like when you've alchemized, or you've come to a point within yourself where it does not matter how the energy comes at you, you are able to chew the meat and spit out the bones. Um, get what's being said to you in that moment, and take what needs to be learned, take the lesson that needs to be learned, and do with it as you know what I'm saying, as you are guided to do by your intuition, by what you receive from the message, if you receive the message. I feel like that's that breakthrough energy when they're talking about celebrate growth and breakthroughs, because again, there has been something set in motion. There has been a door open with how we look at the banking system. You get what I'm saying? The fact that we can understand that money is not real. You get what I'm saying? It's they're turning it into a digital thing. So the abundance, you know what I'm saying, I feel like is limitless. And it's like, again, just looking at it, and it's like trying to figure out, again, your flow, master the dance with all of the things coming about, all of the growth. um how can you be in flow, in rhythm, and what is inevitable of happening, which is change, right? That's a constant thing that you have to deal with, change. um okay, so I'm gonna clarify. I don't want this to be long, y'all, so I'm gonna clarify these cards right here. I do not want to read them. Okay, so we're gonna see what the cards, you know what I'm saying? If I feel guided to read, then I'll read. But we got 11 and 44, 32 as well. Let me take this out of. We had the Wheel of Fortune though. It came out. It was in reverse because my deck is in reverse. So the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like even with the Wheel of Fortune, like, again, with me saying, like, there's been a ripple effect, or there's like a, like something. I feel like maybe that's a not so good portal, or it's like a change, maybe not in the right direction. But I think this is why it's so important to create that sacred space and to master the dance of finding your motivation, finding your inspiration through your intuition, through what makes you feel good, what makes you feel excited. Sometimes I feel like the scales of good and bad, because I feel like, they say the prince of this world, right? I feel like we so easily can get a rush out of addictions. You know what I'm saying? Things that give us something for the moment, but it's not like longevity. And maybe I feel like that's why we're being called to look at what our values are, and why the president is who he is. You get what I'm saying? Even in his authenticity, it's like it's shining a light on authenticity. But I feel like sometimes we are more comfortable being authentic in our ego, in our shadow, more so than in our light. With this, find your motivation. We got the Empress with the Lovers, right? The Empress is about creation. Again, Taurus rules the Empress, along with Libra. So it's about, again, beliefs and values and just the balance of it, especially with the Lovers here. It's like the balance of what it is that you're creating. And this is probably going back to me saying like don't shoot the messenger, right? It's more so again of what what space we're in right now, what principalities rule this world, and why it's so important for us to master the dance of creating our own sacred space, of creating our own heaven on earth, and operating in that manner, flowing, being in rhythm with that manner. You get what I'm saying? And being authentic in that manner. Again, find your motivation. Is what I'm getting from that card is more so like the authenticity of your intentions. You get what I'm saying? Um, Especially with this Lover's card, like with the decisions, it's like tuning into the lighter aspect of what your intentions are, of being in rhythm with who you naturally are, if that makes sense. I don't know if I said that right. um wow, the Emperor came out too. Emperor kind of came out in reverse though. Find your motivation. I am clarifying, find your motivation. I feel like with this Emperor coming out in reverse, it's like the masculine energy is very like not so clear on the doing, right? Not so clear on why the actions they're taking, um, why they're building, why they're taking certain steps, creating certain karma to reap certain things. It's like something with the creation of, again, just being in that space, right? Create your sacred space, being in that rhythm. It's like, um, and I just want to say, like, this probably isn't like, this is really like a general collective reading where I'm saying, like, maybe collectively we are in a energy of creation, right? We're always in an energy of creating, right? The Empress right here. We're always in the energy of creating. And it's like with every decision and every choice that we make, we are always in that space of creating. But it's like with this Emperor in reverse, it's like us not understanding collectively of why we're making the certain choices that we make, what values truly lie behind the intentions or the energy that's, again, the motivation behind the beliefs, the motivation behind the religion. You know, religion is really just, again, what you do, a ritual, a habit of things that you do. um so beliefs is like disciplines, disciples, religion. That's why Christ had 12 disciples. He had disciplines, he had things that he did, he had structures that he had. So with this find your motivation, I feel like is we're not clicked in, tuned in to like the true values of what motivate us, what is actually supposed to innovate us to be the genius, to with this Uranus energy, to make the changes that we're supposed to make, right? With the decisions that we do. It's like, again, what's ruling this, what principles rule this world? It's like creating that sacred space and finding a rhythm within ourselves of, okay, I'm doing this because of this, I'm doing this because of this. Like the rituals, I'm doing this because of this. If it comes to planting your own food, I'm planting my own food because of this. If it comes to um Again, planting your own food, and like, you know, your food being medicine, putting the intentions behind what you eat instead of just eating, right? Instead of just having that discipline of taking that action to eat, that program to eat. It's like really being conscious and aware of why we're doing the certain things that we're doing. Okay, so clarify, master the dance. We got 4 of Wands, 444 here. 4 of Wands, master the dance. I'm sorry, master the dance. Temperance, 4 of Wands. Temperance, 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands, temperance. I feel like this again talks about stability. It's the knowing how to go back and forth with those emotions that you have with this temperance card right here. That sparks the actions that you take. Again, with master the dance, it's like understanding why certain emotions light a certain fire under you. Understanding, and I feel like it's like core beliefs, core values with this Taurus energy. Again, it's like pentacles, structure. It's like worldly things. So it's like tying in all those emotions. Uranus, the Great Awakener. Um, I feel like it's something else about Uranus I'm supposed to be talking about. Um, Again, Uranus is creative energy. Uranus is why? What am I? Hold on, y'all. Oh, I need to get my phone. Hold on. Uranus. Okay, I'm about to hurry up. Uranus and I'm about to hurry up. I'm hurry. Okay, symbol of progress, science, and disruption of the status quo. So again, it's like disruption of the way we've been going about doing certain things. This master the dance in the midst of all the changes that's happening is understanding the fluidity of your energy, the 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 being able to adapt and take certain actions behind the certain changes that are happening. But it's like also understanding like not getting caught up in the changes. It's like having a constant thing. It's like adapting to a constant state of stability. I don't know if it's like emotional maturity. If it's like again with values, it's like okay, well, I know if I have to worry about the government playing with my food and putting certain things in my food, I can make the decision to grow my own food. Or if the government decides to, with everything going digital, to play with money and start locking money so that you can't buy food, I can again start to figure out ways to learn how to grow my own food if it comes to that type of situation. um Again, just master the dance. It's like being able to the resilience, the ability to adapt throughout those changes. Okay, create a sacred space. Create a sacred space. We got 2 of Swords, 6 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Okay, so also with this master the dance, I just want to say real quick. It talks about breaking the status quo as a symbol of progress. So I definitely feel like with this Uranus and Taurus, it talked about like land ownership. Um, I'm hearing the meek shall inherit the earth, right? So it's like the humbleness and Because what if, let's just say, what if there comes a point where they say, okay, well, we'll give land to people who can take care of the land, right? Um, Being able to already have those things worked and equipped within yourself. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that's just something, um, that I'm thinking about. And so with this creative sacred space, Two of Swords, Six of Cups, Nine of Cups. I feel like this is like the back and forth. It's like the making a decision between comfort zone, nostalgia, programming. Again, like those emotional things, like maybe what you may be needing to balance yourself out between the emotional intelligence around, like, this is what I want, this is what fulfills me, but this is what I have to work with. Um, this is this is like the, I want to say, like, this is what I'm used to being in communion with, right? This is what I'm used to habitually doing, or this is what is happening around me, or this is, I feel like this Six of Cups is really about like community. Um, the things that you are in union with, the things that are in union around us, right? The way that people operate around us, around you individually, collective, or the way that we operate collectively, right? How we are in communion with one another, and what actually would fulfill you when it comes to being in communion and partnership with people. Um, this Two of Swords is like not being able to, this is why the sacred space needs to be created, because it's like being up in the air, this being in two minds, this is giving me like instability. A double-minded person will always be unstable. So it's like this going back and forth between like community, and then like what fulfills you. Clarify. Create a sacred space. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's a lot of cups. So I really feel like it's like instability with the emotions. I feel like that's why that fire motivation is out here, because it's like is what got you moving, got you going. It's like, again, a double-minded person. Um, it's like this familiar between like familiarity and what would be fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? If there was maybe a sacred space created within yourself, a center that you feel with yourself. We got Nine of Pentacles, Three of Cups with the Strength, Seven of Cups, and Eight of Wands. Again, this Nine of Pentacles is giving me like you energy, like you singularly, right? Just celebrating the Three of Cups, just really like celebrating, pouring into cups, you know, pouring into your cup, people pouring into your cup, you pouring into other people's cup, just you being out here and being in communion with other people. With that Strength card, it's like there's a lot to give. There's a lot of abundance. There's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? And I say this with the Seven of Cups. There's a lot of like, I don't know if I'm trying to say like a lot of energy going in a lot of different direction. Um, maybe like a lot of energy going in a lot of different direction. So with this creative sacred space, it's more so about being able to hone in and focus on your fulfill. Can't make this up. Your fulfillment, like 10 of Cups energy. 10 of Cups is this 9 of Cups with the 6 of Cups, right? That's you being in fulfillment, and you also being in fulfillment with the community that's around you, with the people that you celebrate with the people that you share your cup of love with. Um, King of Cups. And I feel like this is like the doing part. You know how I said like this Emperor in reverse? I feel like when you create a sacred space within yourself, you will know the fire motivation. You will know and be very clear on the type of habits that you need to have, the type of rituals that you need to be in tune with. Um, what really gives you fulfillment, what values you truly hold near and dear to your heart, um, that makes you take action. Again, with this King of Cups energy, it's about masculine energy. It's about doing, but it's about doing from an emotional space. um, and again, I feel like maybe that's that Emperor in reverse. It's not having an understanding of why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the end goal of doing what I'm doing? Of course, there's always a celebration, there's always community involved with you. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's always a collaboration of energies that are going to be involved. But it's like, with all of the options of the different type of communities that you can sow your seeds in, it's like really being mindful of where you sow your seeds. Create a sacred space. And I really feel like creating a sacred space is more so of an inner thing, of creating a sacred space with you and understanding what motivates you and why you do what you do, maybe for the people that you love, why you go as hard as you do, why you in the rhythm or the flow of doing exactly what it is that you do, why you have and hold the beliefs that you have. But again, just progressing them more, coming from a more heart-centered space, maybe adapting or tweaking some things coming from a more heart-centered space. And I'm just thinking about, like, if as a man, right, as a man, if you have to be innovative and you have to be progressive when it comes to a dictatorship or a king controlling how you feed your household. You get what I'm saying? Things that are connected to you, things that you are emotionally connected to, things that emotionally motivate you, right? It's like, again, finding that flow and being resilient with yourself and being able to adapt and still being who you are without any with people trying to take that power away. You get what I'm saying? When people trying to take that choice away. Um, I don't want this to be too long, so I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it right here with that. That's what I got for y'all. I just wanted to tap into that energy because the cards fell out on the table. Okay, but it sounded like a really good read, you guys. I like what I heard. That was a really nice message. I wasn't expecting that to come through. So yes, I'm about to go ahead and get into the elemental signs for you guys. Period. Talk to you later.